Sorry, I just got a text from one of my cousins. No. Yeah.
Oh, we're good. Already going. Wow.
Yeah, we're rolling, bro.
This one never tells us when we start.
No, he actually did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you should listen better. Yeah. Just a young disclaimer, because probably they're going to see this one first, or the podcast we shot first. Like, guys, don't say we don't bath. Yeah, we shot 2 podcasts in one day. Yeah.
So you're seeing the second one we shot first, and the
first one we shot second.
Also, we can tell them ahead of time, because if they're watching this one, then they're gonna see that the next one, hopefully. Yeah, because that one was sponsored. Yeah. So yeah, today we have another guest, another industry player in the building. We're sitting down with MJ. How's it?
I'm good, yourself?
I'm also good. This is not your first time again. Yeah, guys, I'm bringing guys who've been on the channel back. They must all keep coming back, period.
Yeah, because they've all got something to say. And I think, apart from like life story, I think to impart your industry walk, because there's a whole other industry, other side to Forex than just like sitting down, analyzing and executing.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think people must be aware of the things that are going on beyond that, because again, those are monetary opportunities where you find people, they're not even trading anymore, but they are still making money from the industry.
And serious money.
Serious money, and I think. And I think, just to be like very realistic, not everyone can actually trade, you know. They can have the best mentor, they can have the best signal provider, but then they just can't trade. Funny enough, one broker that I used to work for, the CEO never had a trading account ever in their life, but they were whole CEO of a Forex broker. You know, so I think it's very important that people know that, look, there's more to this than just looking at a chart and executing. Yeah, so I think that's a nice thing about like having other people come back, because now at least they get to expand their knowledge onto us further than just like explaining their journey, because that's inspirational. But then now, once you start getting into the education, but I know your interview, you did impart quite a lot in terms of education. But I think for a lot of the guys, it was more about them than them actually imparting onto somebody else what's actually going on and what opportunities they have. So I'm very glad you came through, because even as we go about, people be like, hey, that interview with MJ. So we are very excited to have you join us on Industry Chats platform.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you so much to have me. Thank you so much for having me.
But are you good though? You come all the way from PTA side, the north.
It's good to be in Joburg. The weather is cool, better than Pretoria.
Oh yeah, that side it's hot.
It's very hot. You still remain to be the capital.
I think it's important to mention Danko Ngot again for allowing us to use your guys' space.
Appreciate it. So we're here today to talk about. Okay, I actually have one question popped up in my mind while Scooby was talking. Is what's your favorite parts of the Forex industry in South Africa? What is your favorite part of it?
I think it will have to be funding prop firms, because I hear a lot of people talking about how they don't have money to trade. And if really you have a skill, then you shouldn't be complaining about funds, because there are companies out there that can fund your skill. You don't have to do a lot. You get as small as $1,000 in rents. You pay your application fee, you do your testing period for like a month or so, and they give you money to trade. So instead of taking $1,000 and depositing it into a broker, which I don't want to mention names, because we already know what's going to happen to $1,000. First of all, with $1,000, the spread is going to chow you, because the first thing that you're going to be thinking of is NASDAQ. Right? And we already know what's going to happen. It's going to end in tears. So I always tell people, rather than taking your last $1,000 to just invest it into the market, because you are not investing it in yourself. You're basically investing it to the market. You're going to give it away, right? We do have a couple of people that can take 1,000 and make it, increase it into something. But, the way in which you make money, it should concern you, because the way you make it is the way you can lose it.
Yeah.
If you can make it in 5 minutes, you can definitely lose it in 5 minutes.
My man just landed and he's already preaching.
Yeah, no, because I don't know who I was having this chat with, or maybe it was a previous chat or just chats with someone. I don't remember it, but I was like, that's the thing with traders. We always or not. I don't want to say with traders, but with superstars, Instagram influencers, and all of that. They always like to highlight the upside of. You can make so much, I flip so much, and I'm always like to people, but if you can make, this is actually with a client. I was like, look, if you can make 300,000, you can lose 300,000.
Exactly.
So it's not always the upside that you must look at. In fact, more importantly, the downside, because the downside does affect you more than the upside. Look, if you make money, hey man, life is cool. But if you lose money, life is stress. I think you'd rather have a cool situation than a stressful situation.
I think just to touch on that, business is all about security. The minute you make money, the first thing you need to think is about how do I keep the money rather than how I make it. Because it's easy for anyone to make the money, but not everyone can keep it. Right?
That's true.
How easy is it? You get your grant. We in South Africa, people used to get 350 for doing nothing. Right? And if you ask them, what can you do with 350? Some people will be grateful of it, and some people will say it's small. But the smart ones, they will know what to do with it, right? Somebody can take that 350 and say, okay, with this 350, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to invest into a small business. I'm going to just buy sweets, be on the street, and sell sweets and see if I can maybe have 100% profit out of what I'm going to invest in, right? But now, the most important thing is that once you make your profit, there are two things that can happen. It's either you're going to chow the money or you're going to restock. And that's one thing that people cannot understand. It's like a salary. You get a salary on a monthly basis. Some people, they already know where the salary is going. A bottle store, debit orders, school fees, groceries. That's the life of a human being. And the minute you live like that, you are in trouble. Because it's going to be difficult for you to visualize yourself as a big person, as somebody that is going to dominate in any industry. So you're looking at, I don't like to be called a trader because it's broad. When you say I'm a trader, I always say, if I'm selling a tomato, you've got $10 and I've got a tomato, I'm a trader because we trade. You give me $10, I give you a tomato. So normally when they say traders, they're thinking M4. Candlesticks. He's a trader, right? So a trader is somebody that can come from any field, right? I'd rather be called somebody that is in business of financial markets. Right? Now, when I tell you that already, you know, okay, this person is into finance. And when we talk about finance, we talk about a lot of things. I don't want to preach. The church hasn't started yet. But it's important. It is important. The reason why I like stressing about funding is that, I mean, if you look at something like my Forex fund, for 49 euros or 49 pounds, you get an account for $5,000. That's close to 90,000 rands. Your split is 75. You take 75. They take 25%. You take 75%. And how much are you investing? 800 rand for an application fee, which is refundable, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You get it back.
Yes.
You get it back. And if you violate any of their rules, you can reapply. And it's going to be cheap to reapply. And the nice thing about it is that when you reapply, make sure you reapply with their money. Remember, you're going to withdraw. Yeah. So if you know that sometimes you are naughty, you can violate their rules. Always keep that 800 bucks again for the reapplication. That way, at least you know security is the main thing. And a lot of traders, they don't have security. That's why you can find a trader that was trading for many years. And they say he was a good trader, but only to find out it was a marketing genius.
Yeah,
marketing guru.
Yeah.
So like you said, you find CEOs, they don't even have an account. They're not even interested in trading. Why would you trade if you've got students that can pay your bills?
Yeah.
Why are you still trading? You don't even have time, because imagine if you are being followed by 5,000 students. 5,000. When do you get the time to mentor them? When do you get the time to coach them?
And also include your trading and all of that.
Your trading. Yeah. I think in one of your podcasts, I think you mentioned something very important about yourself, that there was a time in your life where it was just too much for you. And people don't understand that trading on its own is stressful. Let alone now, you have to now deal with someone's emotions. You have your own emotions to deal with. Now you have to also deal with someone who's asking you, how do I download MT4? And by the way, before that person came to you, he already told you that I've been trading for 3 years. Now you have to deal with somebody telling you, how do I download this and that? So I think there's quite a lot of things that people are not aware of. Prop firms, trading platforms. Myself, I'm not a fan of MT4, MT5.
Yeah.
And I know some people will be watching this, this one wants to feel like he's better. It's just a preference. You like Kaizer Chiefs, I like Orlando Pirates. It's just a preference. It doesn't mean one is better, right? Because of when you look at, when you get into things like a trading platform, when you compare your MT4 and your C Trader, for example, C Trader, when you execute, it already tells you how much you're going to expose. If it's $1,000 account, it's going to tell you that, okay, you're putting 0.05. You're exposing 2% of your account. So you don't need a calculator. You're right. Where else with MT4, you have to download maybe a software that can help you with that, or have a calculator.
That's true.
Of which it can be time consuming for scalpers. Scalpers don't have time for calculator. You see it, you place in order. So there's just quite a lot of things that I believe it is the time now to speak about it. Going on Instagram and talking about how much we make and all that is not enough, because generally now we are into the era where anyone can learn anything from anywhere.
100%.
And I think going into at this point in time, people know that there's money in forex, because that happens a lot. But in fact, forex in Mali, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what people are doing, but they know there's money there. So, like you're saying, that it goes beyond now, just especially in this time of just going and being like, I made so much, or you can make so much with forex. But actually, we need to have those conversations, especially now with like iOS dropping MetaTrader 4. People need solutions of what other trading platforms are available for them. And as you're saying, C Trader, I know for things like copy trading, account management, I've heard actually a lot of people say Zulu trading is actually very good for that, but everybody's still looking for a broker that's still gonna offer copy trading services on their own, when they don't know that like you can actually move to a platform that can do that, dedicating to that need.
Okay, so I need to ask about the Zulu trades.
It's from KZN.
So I need to ask, because I don't have it exactly, and I'm probably sure there's like gang people who don't have.
Hey man, I've never used it.
Okay.
I've just seen a lot. In fact, it's quite popular in the US. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I've never used it. I've never been on the thing. I've just heard it, and I've had like a lot of people recommend that because you know, from time to time. I do account management and all of that. So I'd look at solutions and then that would come up.
Yeah.
But personally, how I do it is if I don't have like any ma'am or Pam from a broker, I'll go use a software called Local Trade Copier. Yeah, but that I also use like for my own accounts, and it's like very MT4 based. I think the reason why I still prefer using MetaTrader 4 is because I understand the MQL language.
Oh yeah,
so
sure.
I don't want to go now have to learn like another language from another thing. So a lot of things I can do independently for myself without the broker providing the technology, because I know how to, and even if it's like 10 different brokers, I'll know how to connect 10 different brokers and manage, because I mean other people, they prefer certain brokers because a certain influencer told them that use these guys or use these guys because they, and then now when you tell them open an account, they like, why? So I think that's when I started like looking out the box that okay, there's broker ABC, and I need to integrate all three brokers for me to be able to control from one place. So like I said, the app is called what's this? Local Trade Copier. And if you can find the developer of it, he actually offers a range, quite a big range of other products available to you, like things like auto stop loss, timer things. He's from somewhere in Europe. You just hear with his accent, like from Bulgaria or Cyprus or something. Yeah, but he does offer a lot of things. He used to offer robots, but now he doesn't. And the Local Trade Copier software, he was giving people advice the other time. He was like, find a bad robot. Like intentionally go out there and find a bad robot. So it does this thing where you can have reverse trades. So basically you find you find a bad robot, you put it on a demo account, and then on your live account you just say reverse what that robot is doing. So every time that robot is losing money because it's taking the reverse trades, you're making money. So it was quite an interesting concept to see. And I tested it out demo for demo though, not on a live account. And I was like, actually, this guy is onto something. And I mean, it's so nice because the process is seamless. You don't have to be there. You just load up all the softwares, and then everything is automatic. I'm pro robots, although I don't say 100% rely on them. But then I've gotten good returns from robots. They make life easier, especially when you have those clients that always want you there. And I think that people don't realize that, you know what, at the end of the day we are also human. So sometimes when you're participating in a market, sometimes you can even have like personal issues, and now you can't be there for a week or 2 weeks because you're dealing with personal issues. But clients aren't there. Clients don't understand that, look, I can't be there, I can't provide the service to you at the time. So I know that bots, for me, they've come to help. And also generally, although with COVID and Brexit, my bot did see a lot of but generally, for the general person, especially if you stay withdrawing, if you don't press the withdrawal button, then amen, that's all on you. But I tell people to withdraw all the time.
Yeah.
But I was finding I was getting far more successful clients because also sending signals and stuff like that, it's not for everyone. Some people they take the signal late. Some people they over leverage on the trade, not realizing part of the 5 fundamental truths that there's gonna be losses. You know. So yeah, that's why I'm also pro bots as well. Yeah, but on one of the things that we were talking about, we were like local versus international brokers, and off the record, you did say you like Australian-based brokers. I know why I do, but maybe just share with the audience why you're about Australian-based brokers.
I think with my research, based on the research that I've made, ISIP is the regulator in Australia. They're more strict more than South African brokers, because one thing that we also need to get right is to be regulated by the FSCA doesn't mean you're legit.
Yeah,
you are just licensed.
Yeah.
Right? To be licensed, to have a driver's license, it doesn't mean you're a good driver. That's very important. Right? So people tend to do their research and say, let me check if FSCA regulated, and people always find ways to do whatever that they want, especially in our country.
Right? Everything's justifiable.
Yeah, I mean, somebody will just tell you that, but I did get into property. People always find a way to screw you up. Right?
Yeah.
Get into anything. I mean, any type of business. Get into vehicle finance. You realize later there's something that they call balloon payment. You're going to take the car after 5 years. They say, brother, you need to pay.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I've been paying this installment. They say, no, but now it's balloonized. I'm like, but no, I didn't know about this. And they're just gonna give you a piece of paper, say, but you signed on it.
Yeah.
Right? So South African brokers, when it comes to regulations, is not tight.
Yeah.
I can tell you now, and I'm glad that we're speaking about this live.
Yeah.
I can tell you now that most South African brokers, the minute you place a trade, it's you against them.
Yeah.
Not you against the liquidity provider. And the minute you start making money, I've had a situation where my account was frozen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a couple of times. I asked them, why did you freeze my account? We're investigating. What are you investigating?
What are you investigating? Why do you need to investigate?
Yeah, so because they know that they can't. We are not that smart that you can make so much money out of them, and they make a research. This guy is African, probably from the farms of breads. Where does he get all the knowledge to make so much money? Let's just freeze his account and just frustrate him. And when you go and say, okay, give me all my money, they're going to give you money back, but it can take some time because they'll say, we're investigating you. So, which with Australian brokers, the minute they want to screw you, ISIC is on their back. Give him his money back now. They're going to do that. But in South Africa, we all know, you will wait and start the Instagram account, WhatsApp group, Telegram. We want our money. Because think about it. In Australia, you never find people saying that we are matching against
XYZ broker.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I think that's why I prefer Australian brokers. And also, the regulations are so deep that even the spread, they can't just manipulate it how they want.
Yeah.
That's why most of them, their spreads are tight. Look at all Australian brokers.
Yeah.
And most of them are ECN.
Yeah.
Most of them are ECN. In South Africa, you'll never find an ECN broker.
Okay, can you break down that ECN versus STP?
So basically, you're talking about a manual car and an automatic car.
Okay.
All right. ECN, you know for a fact that they're going to make money out of commission. Right. That's why their spread is tight. Of which STP, they make money out of spread.
Yeah.
Your USDs are the minute you place a trade, you are on a serious minus. Right. And for you to reach your entry point, it's you're looking at a lot of pips, right? And not all brokers can go the ECN way, because ECN you don't make as a broker. Remember, you are now connected to the main liquidity provider. It's not you against their bank account.
Yeah.
Right? It's you against the liquidity provider. So they are a broker. Now that's where the term brokerage comes into play. I'm a broker. I take the difference between you and this one, and maybe you pay me for that. If you're going to place a trade for one standard lot, I want $10 for connecting you with the main guy. That's basically easier, right? Of which STP, there's no one. It's just you against someone.
Yeah, a made market.
Exactly, a made market. It's you against someone. You're not paying anything, but the spreads normally they are not that competitive.
Okay.
Right. So I prefer ECN. Maybe pay my commission fee, and it's part of my expenses. Because like I said, I don't like being called a trader. Rather call me somebody who's in the business of financial market. Because as you said, you know, the minute you meet your uncle, say, oh, you're a trader, there's money there. All right. How many people have been saying there's money in property? How many people have been saying there's money in logistics? Someone the other day said to me, I have so much knowledge in logistics. I've got experience. I'm a guru in logistics. I said, what do you do? He said, no, I have a truck. No, you are into trucking. You're not really into logistics. Logistics, you're talking about a lot of things. Do you own a flight? You don't even have a 14 baggy, a 1400 baggy. And the guy is just someone who connects someone with a head, and someone with a trailer, and someone with a contract. And you say, I'm into logistics. Come on, what are you talking about?
That also is a broker, essentially.
He's a broker. He's just connecting. So it's just one of those things that people think there's money here. There's no money here. I can be honest with you. There's no money. Money is there for you to go and take. Because think about it. If there was money, have you seen the traffic in the morning? Yeah. So if there was money, would we have that traffic? People going to work every day. We will all sit in our houses and trade.
Yeah.
So people take their packages. I was talking to a good friend of mine when I come here and say, it's better when you have a 9 to 5 and you don't quit as yet until you figure out a way, an exit plan. And because myself, I was one of those that said, I had quit, gonna become a millionaire. On Monday, you wake up in the morning like, okay, what do I do?
That road to a million.
You understand? So money is not there. The money is not in the market. The money is in your head. The minute you have a certain type of mentality to make that money will definitely come. And the minute you start knowing that you're going to lose, no matter how good you are, you're going to lose. That one, for sure, you're going to lose. If somebody says, I never lose, I'm the authority, and all these type of things, then just know that you are just into another.
It's a very shaky.
Because if anyone has done trading psychology, they'll know part of the 5 fundamental truths, like I said before, that there's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given system. So people don't realize what random distribution means. It doesn't mean that every single trade, because if you knew which trade that you'd have would be a winner or a loser, then obviously you wouldn't take your losing trades, and then you'd only take your winning trades. But like you're saying, that you always lose. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's part of the thing.
It's like saying, are you never gonna get hungry? As a human being. It's like you saying me, I don't like food. You not liking food, it doesn't mean you won't get hungry.
Because you need to eat. Whether you like food or you don't like food, you need to eat.
So it's just part of trading. You definitely want to have losing trade. Just be smart enough that your losing trade are always smaller than your winning trades. Right? Make 5 losses, make 5 wins. You're still profitable if you are going on a risk reward of 1:2, 1:3. Yeah. But we know how when we started, it was always a ridiculous risk reward.
No, actually people actually have that idea wrong. So many people always come to me, it's like, gut signals, they're like, what's your win rate, what's the win percentage? And I'm like, but guys, actually, if you can check, there was some guy in a broker who was like, around 60 to 70% of trades are won, right? But people take these huge losses, and I always have that conversation with people. I'm like, you probably made money here, and then it takes that one trade, keeps on going negative, and they don't understand, like you're saying, risk to reward. It is not a concept to them. They don't understand risk to reward. So my phone was just taken, so I was gonna go into the next thing, but so you we were still explaining the ECN and STP, and you said you trade only ECN. Okay, so when they froze your account, right? What was your next step? How did you come out of that situation?
Couple of emails. I cannot trade. You send them an email. You go to those bot chats. Ask them to put in your account, your name. This is they don't know your name. All that. And I communicated with them via email for quite some time, because at least I was blessed enough that this broker was somewhere in Sentin. Not where we are, by the way. So I realized that they have an office in Sentin. Then I drove to their office. I remember that day. I went with my wife because she's the only person that can calm me down. Because I knew if I was gonna go alone, that brokerage wouldn't exist. So I went to them and I told them my account manager's name is so and so, and I've been experiencing this problem, and I'm quite aware that the problem is not with everyone. It's with me, and I want to know why. And they said, we are busy with the investigation. I said, okay, fine. As much as you are busy with the investigation, what are you investigating me on? Because even when the police or the Hawks are investigating you and they say, okay, you come to court and further investigation will take place, they're investigating you on fraud. Or on murder, right? They still want to gather some evidence. But them, they don't want to tell me. What did I do?
What are they investigating?
What are you investigating? Maybe the PC I was using is stolen. Maybe the problem is not in my account.
Maybe it's the PC.
Maybe it's the PC. So I kept on asking them to say, please let me know what you're investigating me on. And they saw that the angle in which I was coming in, I had an upper hand, because now I was telling them I'm going to go to authorities because you cannot provide me with at least one reason why.
And you can only find that there's so many more other people that these brokers do this to, tell them that we're investigating, and so many people do not question what you had to question, and in a position of you to drive to the broker itself and be like, yay.
Because there was once a guy, and just for our audience to know, because I'm sure that a couple of people in the podcast have experiences. Guys, your account manager actually has very little say in the executive decision that ends up taking place. So don't really go fight with your account manager unless that person is straight up rude, because there are some people who are straight up rude. But normally it's the higher up that you won't get a discussion with, because I actually had a situation like that where I worked for a particular broker. So now this client, so normally the support guy, if there is something complicated, he'd come to me and be like, yo, what's going on here? So there's an incident that happened where this client was kicked out of a trade, unfortunately resulted in a margin stop. And now the broker had to explain. I sat down, I did all the calculations, right? And unfortunately, my manager at that time, and I'll just explain an incident I had with him. And yeah, that day, if I didn't hit him with the laptop, yeah.
No laptop, maybe something else.
I think the problem is, I want to say that when it comes to SA, management normally is chosen on how loyal you've been to the broker, how long you've been there, and doesn't actually go to somebody who knows what's going on. So I went, I wrote down all the numbers, I did everything just to at least, because okay, now I'm working for the broker, so what they teach you, protect the broker. But I was like, guys, I cannot, even if I try and put the worst case scenario, explain as to why that would happen. If the spread took him out over midnight spread, then how huge was the spread gonna be? Because your midnight spread only goes up to maximum 100 points. Doesn't go beyond that. So this guy would have had to be, I forgot what it was exactly, but I was like, no, here we're in the wrong, and this client needs to be refunded. So they didn't take me seriously. I was like, and I told the client straight up, I was like, hey bruh, unfortunately I did look at your case, and yeah, we're not treating you fairly. Instead of them doing the right thing, I was called into a boardroom. I was told that if ever I say anything like that again, I'll get fired. And then that's when I was like, nah, you know what, guys, you can rather keep your job, because now if anything happens, at the end of the day, that's my name that's out there, because clients don't understand that we don't come up with the rules. So yeah, they were mad at me for a fault that they could see that they clearly had fault. Right, and they could simply refund the guy, you know, or recall that particular trade. Don't look at all the other instances. Just look at that particular trade, recall the trade, and then reimburse his money. Funny thing is, when there was a NASDAQ issue and clients were super profitable, they could recall those trades, the profitable trades. They could recall a good $400,000 and then make an excuse as to why they shouldn't pay the trader, because no, NASDAQ was off, but you guys were still trading, and I'm like, that's just nonsense. And there must come a time where like ethics are there, you know, because whatever screw up happens, and that's why particularly in SA brokers, when they screw up, I do get pissed off, because whatever screw up happens ruins the name of South African brokerage firms, so that even if I want to go and honestly open a legit broker that's not gonna have manipulation or anything like that, I have it moving, but people are gonna be like, nah, SA brokers, we can't deal with SA brokers anymore. So yeah, that's why in that particular incident, I was quite annoyed, and I also had a thing with a guy where the quote window and the actual chart were showing two different prices, and I tell the guy, look, the chart price is this, the quote price is this. This guy, he's busy opening symbol properties, he's busy. I'm like, bro, you don't need that. He takes out a calculator. I'm like, these prices are not the same. It's like, I broke it down. I'm like, bro, you go to a store, you see a shelf price, it says $20 for a can of cold drink. You pay for it now it says $40. Those prices are not the same. We don't need to work out the difference. Working out the difference is something that we'll see later. But in the current moment, what we're seeing is two separate prices. Now, truth be told, most traders look at the chart price when they're trading. They don't look at the quote window. They don't go look at the quote window, what the price is. They look at the chart price. And we had a huge fight about that, and he brought out the calculator and he's like, I'm experienced in, but I'm like, you don't need experience to be able to look at this. These are two different things. And that's why I'm like, it also comes back down to that there's a problem concerning that, because we tend to have wrong people in managerial positions. We tend to have the wrong people taking decisions there.
Yeah, sure.
Because how you are treated is based on who are you, what do you know.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
True.
Yeah. So I mean, I had an incident where somebody else wasn't supposed to be refunded, but they refunded the guy $7,000, and he wasn't supposed to be refunded. I knew exactly what went on. I just kept quiet. I saw everything. I saw how it went down, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna tell them how this is actually the client's fault. But because the client was a big name client, you know, they panicked. They refunded the client, and I think, like you're saying, that with ASAC, it won't be the issue.
Yeah,
you know, everyone is equal. If a case is right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, what's one thing about local brokers that pains you a lot, that you feel like they should be doing better in that specific area or areas?
I think just on the management side of things.
Okay.
Normally, when you have a query, it will take time to respond to you, because, you know, funny enough, people don't even know what is it. You know, as a provider, as a service provider, there are certain things that are expected from you. Okay. And as a service receiver, you are also expected to know certain things, right? If right now you go to any grocery shop or store, and you are grabbing maybe a tomato sauce from the shelves, if you are still in the store and you haven't even paid for it and it falls down, you can take another one. You're not going to pay for it.
Okay.
As long as it falls within.
Oh, yeah?
That's a consumer right that you have. But how many people don't know that?
Yeah.
They will try to pick it. Can you borrow me a mop there? Let me mop it. But you literally can say, okay, it fell off. I'm taking another one. And no one is going to come and say, pay for it. As long as it's within the store. So, you understand your consumer rights, no one is going to mess around with you. The minute the manager comes and he says, did you see what just happened there? And you tell them, no, it fell. So I took another one. It's within my rights. You already know what you need to do as a consumer, right? You pay for it, you go. So as a broker, they know that you don't know what you're supposed to be knowing as a consumer to them. And they're using that against you. Right? Every business has got its own bylaws. Right? As a service provider, I think they also have a timeline on which they are regulated to respond to every client. Like they're being given a timeline to say, if somebody has a query about 1, 2, 3, maybe reply to them within maybe 24 hours. But have you seen that in our South African brokers? At times, others, they do reply. Others, they will tell you that we had a lot of emails, and it's just quite a lot, and can't respond on time. So the management side of things, as he's saying, they are not really taking it serious because they know that you know nothing about what you should be knowing, right? Freezing of your account. And they're telling you that we are going to process all withdrawals at the same time and give you all your money back. You shouldn't be discussing about the issue of giving your money back. You should be discussing the issue of trading. I don't have a platform to trade. Why you want to give me my money back? Are you going bankrupt? And if you're going bankrupt, where are you going to get my money? Right? And people don't know that it's within your right to get a quick withdrawal. If you read whatever that they can show on their website and say, we process withdrawals within 7 days. The minute 7 days will pass, all right, they violated their own rules. But the question is, where do we report these people? And who takes action against them? They're going to be having a lot of letters, and that's one thing that, you know, not generally about South African brokers, the way in which things are done in our country, right? I can tell you now, I can take your car, my good sir, now, and take it to Pretoria, right? And plus I came with another guy who claims to be my bodyguard, by the way. And I tell him, I said, let's take your car. I can take it to my house, right? And you can go and open a case against me, right? And go to the police and say, MJ was here, he took my car with, and they ask you why. I say, I don't know, I think he stole it. Do you know that if they come to me and I tell them that you gave it to me, there's nothing they can do until we go to court?
Imagine that time all along. You have my car.
I have your car. I can strip it off. You're going to be using taxes, and it's going to be costly for you to also open a case against me. All right. If you open a protection order now in South Africa, right? Open a protection order before you go to court. They will tell you that do not be around this person until we go to court. And by that time, they don't even know where you stay. But already there's a protection order against you. So the law on its own within our country is not that tight. That's why everyone can do whatever they want. Property, brokerage firms, farming, all these type of things. No one is being taken serious. So they will do whatever that they want. And people don't understand the powers that comes with being a consumer. You possess so much power as a consumer, right? But you don't know. Because they're not going to tell you. They will just give you pieces of paper. Say sign here, initial here, initial here. They never even give you 2 hours to say read the contract. Think about it. When you open any account with any broker,
you just agree, click that box.
You know how they're going to make sure that they manipulate you, the mindset, your mindset. Get a bonus, $50 bonus, and that's where you are hooked.
You're like, hey, if I can trade that bonus,
I can trade that bonus, I can flip that bonus.
Yeah.
Right? That bonus maybe can make me, and you will never withdraw that bonus. If you read the T's and C's of a bonus withdrawal, that thing is based on a particular lot that you place on every trade. That's when you can withdraw that bonus. Only few people can withdraw a bonus.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and
that's
you are
true.
thinking, okay, in my account, at least I've got $1,000, and you only know that your money there is $500. The rest is not yours.
Yeah,
it belongs to them.
Yeah.
But people don't even know. When you ask them, but I've been trading this bonus for years now, I want to withdraw it. They say, no. T's and C's apply.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that every time they put T's and C's apply, they make it small?
Yeah. Read the fine print.
I think nobody's got time for that. Exactly.
No one has time for that. All we want is to get into this new thing, deposit, see what we can do at the later stage, and see if we can make money.
Yeah.
And then obviously we want to make money, but the way in which we make it, for me, is kind of scary, because I have a lot of people that come to me and they would tell me, MJ, I've got this money with me. How much do you think I need to start with to start making money?
Yeah.
And it all depends on your lifestyle. Some people, 3,000 a month is a lot for them, right? Some people, 50,000 is a lot for them. And some people will say, the minute people start asking me, how long will it take? I already know here disaster is coming.
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah, and that's the thing. I've actually turned to be a little bit picky with who then I work with based on that question. How long will it take? How much will I make every day?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, but I can't answer those questions because I can't guarantee that tomorrow, if I take a trade with you, if it'll be profitable or unprofitable.
Sure.
Because we can take 3 trades and then 2 of them don't go well, and then 1 of them they make up for that loss there, you know.
Yeah.
And I was actually even talking to a client yesterday to be like, you know what, a lot of people actually don't even know how to position size. You know, because they go to your favorite mentor. The favorite mentor is like, for every $100, put a 0.01. If your account is between $50 and $100, do 0.01 times 3. If it's $200, do 0.05 and what. And it's like, but that is not relative to what's going on, because you don't even know, is this person going to be scalping? Is this person going to be swing trading? Is this person going to be day trading? How much drawdown in pips is that trade gonna be?
And the spread, by the way, you don't even know the broker that is using, so you don't even know how much is going to be charged to open a position. All right, so you are having 10 people that are trading the same account size. They are having all $1,000, and you're telling them that when it's 1,000, at least go for 0 when this. it's a dangerous thing to do because you don't even know how much I'm charged for my spread.
What's the spread? You don't even know what leverage they're using.
Yeah. I met another guy at the gym. He said, MJ, you know what? I know you and I met you somewhere, but I can tell you, I don't need you to teach me anything. If I have $1 million, I'll make money out of the market. I said, why? He said, because I put $1 million in my demo account. Yeah, and I corrected him. I said, first of all, you didn't put $1 million. You don't even have to put anything.
Yeah.
It's not your money.
Yeah.
And it's not even money. You didn't put anything. So stop taking credit of small things. He said, yeah, because when I have $1 million, I just let it go. It never blows up.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
That's very dangerous because as well I've seen with a lot of brokers, they tend to, especially on their demo account, make very tight spreads on the demo account. But then once you switch to a live account, that's when the real spreads come in. That's when the real costs come in. And it's like, guys, what you put on your demo, because I was with a client trying to show her how to partial close the trade, saying, no guys, you don't need to close the whole trade. You can get into profit partial close. She's like, what's that? So to show an example. Now the spread I was seeing on the demo versus the live, because initially I'd have a live account there, so I've grown accustomed to the. I was like, is this really the spread? You know, it was basically raw spread. When I pay more spread, and I couldn't believe it, but I was like, what? So it's just like those things that even demo, they don't realize that even those spreads and stuff like that, they come into play, especially for a scalper, where we know that most people that are actually coming into trading are scalpers, because they don't want to, especially new people, they don't want to take the time of like holding a trade and all of that. Sometimes the demo are swap free accounts. Now as soon as they get into a real market, they start realizing that, oh my gosh, not only is the spread bigger, but also when I'm holding the trades overnight, there's also swap on there.
I'm being charged for that.
And those are things that they didn't experience in the demo. Now they start saying, hey, the broker's a scam. It's like, no, it's not necessarily a scam. You just didn't know what is the live trading conditions of that broker. You didn't know that, hey, it's a swap account. They have increased spreads, all those things. But then when they told themselves, what's on the demo? What's on the demo is how it's gonna be.
And they're saying it's scammers. You know, I don't think that. I think people are using the wrong word. Brokers are not scammers. They're just smart enough.
Yeah,
they're very smart. Because think about it. I can tell you now, I don't know which camera to use because I want to speak to somebody watching. I'm going to ask somebody this question, right? Have you seen that when you win small, and when you lose big? Why is it?
Because
when you are running your trades, this thing never hits your TP. Right? But when you are losing, it's like there's a magnet calling that
stop loss.
We are going there. Right? Because remember, there's what we call, or what they call, because I'm not into brokerage, an account, I forgot the name, account manager platform. I don't know if it's a 5.0 thingy.
The account manager platform where like they can see all the orders that are running, where the
you
order
know
was
better, right?
taken.
You can increase the spread of a client there, right? Especially the ones that are not scalping overnight, especially during Asian session, because they know you're sleeping. And somebody's in Spain by the name Gonzalez, right? He's your account manager. He would increase that spread. The minute you wake up in the morning, he would say, hey, things were happening here, right? Only to find out that you didn't move by many points, but the spread was widened. Now you're losing more money. Plus, you even had to pay for swap. Right? So it's going to be a matter of how does it come back? If it will come back. Already the market is against you. Because you have to deal with an account manager who's smarter than you in most cases. He's widening the spread. He's doing whatever he wants. And by that time, do you know that they can even go to an extent that if they know how the news are going to come out, they can freeze your account same time. And you'll not be filled.
Yeah. I don't know, did I say this last week when we were shooting? That I was... Oh, how do I put this?
Of course, brokers.
No.
Of course,
there were traders that were actually around, and it was during what was the big news that just happened recently? CPI. CPI news. And that broker, all those guys, they trade under a specific broker in SA. They literally couldn't log into their dashboard during during the time of the news, and they're all like, you see now, and it's like as if though they were just like it was expected. There was nothing they were phased about, so they were just like, you see, they're starting again. What not?
They're starting again. So using the very same person that
broker, and that is really the problem, that like people go and use the same broker, but you know why they stay there? Because they're getting other benefits from there. They're getting
same day withdrawal,
50K just to be there, just to post the link. So they'll be like, they're not even making that 50K from actual trading. They're making like 4,000 or 5,000 rand from the trading. So that's why they're not too bothered, because the amount of money they're being paid to be an influencer or whatever you want to call for the like just makes up for that. So that's why they're not bothered. But a person who has no clue about all those things, they're really truly frustrated there. But even their voice, it's not loud enough, because they know that most people they don't know what are the actual procedures, and we must actually discuss this once. Especially if you like go through your RE5 stuff, you'll know these are the processes and what. But most people they just know that most people won't know. Most people will complain. Even when they go to the FSCA, they don't even follow the proper procedures, because what do most people do? They just want to make a phone call, complain, and then drop that call. And you can go to the FSCA and they're also trying their part, to be honest.
Sure.
They might not be 100% clued up, but they're getting clued up by the day. That's why now there's the ODP license coming into play, and it will no longer be an FSP, but rather an ODP. But even then, there are procedures that you need to follow. So people think that as soon as you made a phone call to complain, firstly, you're complaining to a receptionist who she only redirects calls to the right people. So you complain to her, and then you hang up, and then what is she gonna do? She didn't even open a case for you or anything. She just heard a complaint. So most of the time, the receptionist there, they just say, when you call about a certain broker complaining, they're like, everybody's complaining about the broker, but then open a proper case. And then people just, they don't follow that procedure of opening a proper case. They don't know that what is the waiting period before you need to open a case, because it's 6 weeks, but then you actually need to show that you did try to communicate with the FSP first and all of that. And they just don't know the processes, and then they just want to complain once, and then also expect the FSP to do a miracle. It's like going to the police station saying, hey, there were people in my yard and they stole, and then you leave and you don't even open a case. They don't even write down your case, get a case number, and all of that. And people don't understand that, guys, you need to work with the regulator in order for things to be handled properly. So I think that's actually one thing that we need to do on one segment, is showing people the step-by-step guide on how to actually lodge a formal complaint against a broker, because it doesn't end by just calling these guys and saying, look, you get more assistance if you actually went to the actual FSCA, then that would be there. But most of the time people are even calling with that 7 rand airtime, so they just want to
7 rand airtime.
They just want to express their grievances and not even hear what the proper procedures are for this.
You just need to be careful. Even prop firms just need to be careful there, because there are a lot of people that are getting into funding from the prop firms, but most of them are not legit. Most prop firms are not legit. What they do is that they make money out of your application fee.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll be trading demo. You'll be thinking, okay, I enrolled with them, I paid this much, and they will tell you, okay, it's not refundable, right? And you'll be trading, they say you passed your first stage, your second stage, now we're giving you money, only to find out you're trading demo, right? And while you're trading that demo, they will figure out a way to take you out before you withdraw. So they make money out of your application fee, make a lot of money out of application fee. So people find ways to make money these days.
How do people essentially spot like this prop firm or this funding challenge is not a legit one?
I think give your money to somebody that does not need it. And I'm going to break it down. The minute somebody always calls you and say, when are you depositing? When are you paying your application fee? Every week they are calling you. Every day they are calling you. It's a first red flag, right? My Forex fund will never call you every day and just say, when are you paying your... We see that you open
an account.
When are you paying? And like most brokers. And you open today, there's a +277 number, same time.
Hey, I'm Enrique. I saw you just opened an account.
Yes. Just so you know, I'm going to be your account manager, I'm going to be helping you. And when were you looking to you see? So I run businesses like this, even in my own other businesses. I don't want to look desperate to my clients. The minute somebody forces you to take out money, then it simply means he's not making money elsewhere. Right, so just be careful of that. If they're not going to bother you with regards to that, then it's a first good sign that they don't need you. All right. So just be careful on that. When you register with a prop firm and they don't bother you about paying your application and all that, it might be the first good sign. But generally for me, my first or my best two for now, it will have to be my Forex fund and FTMO. Right. I know a lot of people, they have problems with them, but there's no company that can be perfect. Come on. We are not all perfect. Right. But I feel like, especially my Forex fund, I feel like they're improving a lot on a lot of things. Yeah, they are improving a lot. The other ones, because there's quite a lot. Most South Africans, they don't know about prop firms. They don't know.
And they are growing and opening every day. It's crazy how many prop firms have actually in the past years seen like posts that, hey, start trading like this, and I'm like, where did all you guys come from? But as like you're saying, those things you're trading a demo, it's a scam, because you realize if 95% of your clients are coming in and they're not getting a refund on their application, then they're making a huge amount of money. They can even keep it demo for the rest of your life, even if you're given a real account, they can still keep it demo. Because they know as soon as you make a payout, they just take a portion of what they've made. Because most people think, I think there's over like 80% of people for FTMO who actually failed their first 3 attempts. So you can imagine they're making a cut on that, and not that FTMO isn't legit, but I mean they're making healthy money off of that, to a point where there's even an affiliate side of it, you know, where they'll give an affiliate a certain portion for introducing someone to you know, my FTMO, my Forex funds, all of those things.
You can really make a living out of funded capital. Seriously. But just be careful, have two at least, your own money and, you know, the funded account. Just to be on a safe side. That because remember, when you are trading someone's funds, you are more like working for them. So anytime they want their money, you are out of work.
Or if they tell you that you violated ABC rules, now your whole plan is screwed up.
So get funded to fund yourself. So they give you $5,000, $10,000, you withdraw, then fund yourself. Unlike, you know, depositing small money and trying to buy a house out of 1,000 rands, deposit into a South African broker. It's not going to make you rich, and it's going to frustrate you, because really to make money out of small money, it's difficult. It's generally difficult, and it takes a lot. It's draining. It's draining because you're trying to protect the small money that you have, and we know us traders, we always have a story to tell that I took my mother's last 1,000 to pay society.
But there's always that story, and it's like, and this is what I say to people that manga 5,000. And then I tell them that, like, no, let's just take it a little bit away from trading, guy. Let's look at any business. If you're here and you only have stock to sell 5 t-shirts, and I have capital to sell 50 t-shirts in every city in South Africa, who's going to make more money? Obviously, if you just from your house are selling 5 t-shirts, and me in every city in South Africa, I've got the capacity of selling 50 t-shirts, who's making more money?
Exactly.
So now, when you want to come to trading, you guys want to treat this as a miracle thing, you know, because like you say, people always have these stories of I took the last money of
and the environment as well is very important, you know, as somebody that is in the financial market. I had one guy that met, I think he saw one of the interviews, and he called me and he said, I want to meet you, and I allowed him to come over to the office. I sat down with him. He's around 49, 50 years old, right? But he doesn't look old. Right, he came there dressed nicely, looking good, and I'm like, okay, what does this guy need me? I mean, I spoke to him and I could hear he has a lot of knowledge about financial markets, and he said to me, I'm broke, man, and can you borrow me 10,000 rands? I said, what do you want to do with it? And he said, no, I want to trade it. And I said, okay, what happened to the money that you had? He said, I had a Jeep, I lost it.
Sure.
I had this much, I lost it. And in the back of my head, I'm like, my 10,000 is most probably going to be in the same line as the Jeep.
I lost it.
I'm like, no. You know? And I'm like, you know what? I can help you with something. And only to find out the guy, you know, true story. This when I'm talking about this, I get so much touched, because this is somebody who left his family in Durban. He had his wife. The wife was pregnant, and he was like, man, I literally have nothing. Because I know I meet with a lot of chances on daily basis. And I was thinking maybe he's one of those. And he's like, man, I'm staying in an office. And I'm like, office? Like, yeah, in Joburg, they're in Midrand, I'm staying in office. And I said, can we go and have a look at your office? And he's like, yeah, let's go. I was like, okay. This guy is not a chancer, but maybe he might kidnap me. So I told the guys at the office, I say, I'm going to this place, and this is the guy I'm going with. And so what's your name again?
In case anything happens.
So it's the guy
send a live location. Guys, if I'm not back.
This is the guy who's going to be responsible. And I kept on telling them, he looks good. Nah, just have a look at him so that they don't
forget
the face. Look at him from top to bottom. And he's a bit taller than me, can you see? So that they don't forget, right? And we drove to the office, and indeed when we got there, the guy had a bag, a table, and he was sleeping on that table every night. Literally came with one suit, and he's wearing that suit every day. And I started thinking that, how can I invest back, and how can I help this person? And I told him about prop firms, and I said to him, the environment that you are in, there's no way you're going to make money here. As much as we hear about a comfort zone is not a good place, yes, I agree with that. But an environment plays a lot when it comes to trading. You need to be in a place where it's conducive for you. You can get a bit of positivity every now and then, right? And I said, when you trade, how does your wife treat you? And said, when I'm trading, my wife will normally, encourage me. I said, okay, I've got an idea. I'm going to send you all the links of the prop firms, and I'm going to pay for your ticket. You're going back home. He said, no, I'm going back home as a fail. I said, that's where you start. Right? And we went, and I bought a ticket. And I said, borrow me your ID. They normally fill up. And you got into the first bus to KZN. As I'm talking to you now, the guy is managing 1.2 million. He's funded by someone.
Sure.
Right? All he had to do is produce good results. I said, record down everything that you do. Show it to somebody. Right? There are a lot of people that can fund you as long as you have a skill. You've got no reason to say, I don't have money to trade. Yeah, he called me last week and said, brother, I'm coming there. I said, to sleep in an office again. So no, now this time I'm going to buy a house there. It's literally managing 1.2 million. It's like, man, I just need to push a little bit higher or more, because by the end of March, they can give me 10 million rents to manage. And he's got private funders as well. So I said, as much as you are not licensed to do so, like you said, PEM, MEM, copy trading, people can just follow your trades and make money out of your skill. And that's a legal way of trading for people.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what he's basically doing. He's into FTMO, my forex fund, and another company, I forgot the name. So the guy is being funded everywhere, and he's making good money out of it. You know. So imagine if he gave up and he said, "I'm waiting for my auntie to send me e-wallet of 2,000. I'm gonna deposit it." He would still be in that office.
Yeah.
You know. So there's a way to get money from this kind of thing. In fact, I have a plan of funding people, but I want the government to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought I was gonna say my money? I'm not yet at that stage. I want the government to fund my company.
Yeah.
So that I can fund people. Right. If the government can invest in me and I can produce good results and say this is, and I think I've touched on this during our interview. Build me or get me a building. People come there for free. We teach people, even if they can pay a certain amount to keep the place running. They get funded. Then we will not have this issue of unemployment. Because you're funding them, right? And you're not just giving them money. They violate the rules, you fire them. And get somebody who's serious enough to come and comply. And that person is making money out of it. Have you seen that prop firms, normally they don't want a ridiculous return on investment? Yeah. They will say reach 8%, reach 10%. It's good. For them, if you reach 8% as a trader, you are a good trader. But here in South Africa, if you flip an account, you are a good trader. So that's the difference. They know how difficult it is to make. On average, I like saying, at least if I've worked hard, if I made 35 to 45% of my investment, I've worked really hard and I've worked good. It's a good return on investment for me. And I know that people can make 80%, but that's them, because maybe they are glued to their screen every time. And maybe I have other things to do, so maybe I should invest in your robot. when I'm away, the robot.
No, you know, when it comes to profits, I like to look at one thing. I'm like, whatever return that can be made, see if you multiply that return by 2, will you and think of that multiplication of 2 as being your drawdown, will the account still be there? So if somebody's making 100%, then look, double of that can be his drawdown, so he can be in a drawdown of negative 200%, which is everything gone. You know. So if somebody is saying, "Hey, I make 30%," I'm like, okay, look, double that is 60%. So at least there'll still be some funds left for this. So that's how I normally take. As soon as somebody is like this much, I always just multiply by 2 and be like, that's the most amount of drawdown that I'd most likely experience if I were to jump into this. Because I mean, like we're saying, that we can't always just look at the upside. There is downside. I mean, all of you guys watching there know that there is downside, even if you feel like you've made the holy grail strategy, you know, which is always funny. We always experience things like this. Well, for me personally, somebody will always come to me, they'll be like, yeah, I've got this awesome strategy, whatnot. And I'm like, okay, but like, why are you asking me for money then if you have this awesome strategy? I blew my account. Okay, so but you're saying you have this awesome strategy, so please make it make sense to me.
It's not about the strategy, it's just all about the mentality. Try a good strategy. Remember that you can have a powerful strategy, but you don't have a good mentality for it. Like being a good soccer player with a bad mentality, it's not going to make you a better player at the end of the day. You know, people always compare Messi and Ronaldo, and I always believe that Messi, For me, I prefer Ronaldo, right? But I always believe that Messi is more gifted.
Yeah.
But the other guy has a very powerful mindset.
Yeah.
Ronaldo has a very powerful mindset. That's why he's one of the best, if not the best.
Yeah.
Right. So you can have a good strategy, but you don't know how to apply it.
Yeah.
What's the use? Right. You can have a good PC screens.
Yeah, I could have 10,000 screens and all of that.
You know, normally you would have a lot of screens there. I remember one time one guy called into my office. That time I had 6 screens, and the guy went out to buy 6 screens. Didn't ask me. So one time it's like we were on Zoom, and he was just showing me around and say, "How is it going there?" And I said, "It's going well. I see you've got a lot of screens there. What's happening?" He said, "No, I just saw that you got 6 screens, so I thought I would." And he said, like, "Why do you need 6 screens?" At that time, you already had those screens. You know? I'm like, "No, I've got 3 businesses I'm running.
Yeah.
So one screen is for one business, that's on top. Another one is for another business. The third one is for another business. And the ones here below is for my trading."
Yeah.
And I was like, "How many businesses do you have?" He said, "I don't even have a business." So you just saw a guy with 6 screens and thinking that it makes him profitable. I'm telling you, you can have 15. It's going to humble you.
Yeah, no, and that happens, especially like when you deal with people, service provision. You'll be like, "Yeah, Ntanga, if I can buy a laptop, I know I'll go to a higher level." And I look at people and I'm like,
higher level.
And I'm like, you know what? Funny enough, out of all my trading devices, whether my current phone, and I only moved to Apple because unlike the social media aspect, and I won't lie, I do use a lot of social media. So because of that, I was like, you know what? I need something that's going to be able to do all this work for me and stuff like that. But until that point, my whole life, I never bought a phone more than 3,000 rand.
Yeah,
you know? And even this one, I'm not gonna change until it stops working. My camera here is messed up. I'm like, I don't care. I'm only gonna change this the day I try switching on and it doesn't switch on.
Sure.
And I tell people the most amount of money I've made, right, was on a 2,000 rand Huawei. No, not even Huawei, Hisense.
So you made more than the price of the gadget.
I made way more than the price of the gadget. Yeah. And I'm like, and that's just the thing.
Yeah.
On my PC, no. On what? But on my cheap phone, 2,000 rand phone, I made more money than I've ever made on my PC than I've ever made on my iPhone. You know, so it's not about having 10,000 screens or what, but just stick to the basics.
Yeah,
you know.
And this is where you find that a lot of people make excuses to not start. Because I'm also thinking about what you're saying.
Yeah,
I've done a lot. I've probably done more trading on my phone than I have on a PC and whatnot. I mean, I've analyzed on a PC whatnot, but like essentially, like I've also made more money trading on my phone than on my PC. And you find a lot of people like, yeah, if I can, like that statement, if I can get a laptop, I'll be fine. So I can trade whatnot. People think, like you say, and it's a matter of using what you have. You have a cell phone, use it. I mean, like imagine, like all you need is a cell phone and internet connection, and you're good to go. But some people see that as a thing of just because they go on Instagram, they can't draw those fancy what
those fancy lines normally are the ones that
now it's a reason.
And I was explaining to someone yesterday, which is what I learned with trading psychology, that you know what, the more times the more you stress about your technical analysis, and the more like effort, and you spend the whole weekend busy analyzing one chart and whatnot, you become sentimentally attached to that because you feel like this is my baby, this is what. So much so to a point where when the trade starts going wrong, now you start using other indicators that you've never used. Now you're bumping up to weekly time frame, daily time. That time you're trading based on a 5-minute chart, but now you're looking at the weekly, you're looking at what, you're trying to convince yourself because you spend so much time working on that analysis that now you're sentimentally attached to your analysis, and you're like, no, my analysis is what But then if you keep it simple, look, nothing wrong with being complex, but the simpler you keep it, the quicker you get to your trading decision, is the better it is, because it's very quick for you to identify, okay, the market is clearly not moving in my direction. Let me move out this trade. Sometimes it's called a safe exit. Sometimes you can even move out a market before it goes to your stop loss, because you see that now this behavior is definitely going to my stop loss. So let me exit in this trade
it's
before.
Most probably going to hit your stop loss.
You know, let me exit this trade before it goes for my stop loss. And because you quickly came up to as to what the market is doing, you know, you objectively did it, because when you do things objectively, it's easy to make good decisions. But the minute now your emotions is in it, the minute it's like, yo, this analysis, I did this analysis so well and whatnot, now your emotions go into the market. And trust, there's one thing that the market doesn't care about, and that is your emotion. They care about your money, but never about your emotion.
And being superstitious as well. A lot of people are superstitious. If I have a white chart, it normally goes my way. Black charts, if I play this song, you know, people become so much superstitious about this. Now if I hold my phone down like this, I'm telling you. That's why if you wanna see a boy in a man, put them in a room and they are trading. You will see a boy in a man, because they'll be doing very funny things. When they are winning, there's a side of emotions that will kick in, and when they are losing, there's funny things that they are losing, like blowing into their phones and all those type of things, and thinking that, and calling their ancestors, and some are calling God, you know.
Now they start praying.
Yeah, start praying.
Sometimes they've never prayed a single day.
That dear God prayer comes out. You know the dear God, if you help me with this, I'll stop sinning. Those things.
They, you know, become superstitious sometimes. The way you wake up, and you know, have you been in a position? I think most of us have been in the position where you're like, right now it's high time I take myself serious. I'm gonna wake up early. I'm going to analyze. I'm going to eat breakfast, and I'm going to make sure that today I concentrate. It's either there are two things that will happen that day. There won't be any setup, or you're going to lose. Because your mindset, remember, a person is all about the mindset. Have you noticed that the minute you before you sleep, if you think a lot about something, you dream about it. It happens in your subconscious mind. So some people wake up with these things. I dreamt about it, and I was winning. It was a EURUSD buy. I dreamt about it. So Gogo came in my dream. You showed me it's a buy. Then you hit the buy, then it's a sell, right? And it chows you the whole day that day. And you find yourself that, why did I dream about it? Because it was clearly a sign from God. No, it was your subconscious mind. You've always, like you said, you've always saw that EURUSD buy, but you were waiting for confirmation. And your confirmation came through a subconscious mind. Right? And now when you hit the buy, because there are generally three things that a trader can do. You buy, you sell, or you stay away. And out of all of them, there will be an outcome. If you buy, it can either you make money or not make enough, or be fearful and take little. Or if you sell, you can lose. Or if you stay away, you can feel bad. And I saw that one. If you saw it, why didn't you come in? You know those feelings. That one, I saw it. It's just that I was just thinking of load shedding. You know, because as a South Africans, for those that are watching and you don't know what load shedding is when they take some power for certain hours. In fact, when I came to this building, I don't know if maybe you don't experience load shedding here in Johannesburg.
Yeah, we do.
But the way the security guard looked at me, I was quite uncomfortable, because like, where are your stairs? It's like, you are going to 4th floor. I was like, I'm away. Where are your stairs? She's like, but there's a lift there. I said, no, I'm going to fourth floor and I want to use stairs. They're always looking at me. I was like, we are in an environment of load shedding. I don't want to use a lift when it's load shedding. I never. Because first of all, I don't trust even the details that comes through that app to say 2 o'clock power will go off, right? Because sometimes they change the stage.
Whenever
we are in stage 18. Right? We are upgrading or downgrading. We are in stage 18, they tell you 4 o'clock and you thought it was gonna come 6. Now they've changed.
Yeah.
So I so I looked at them, I was like, maybe in Johannesburg they don't experience this. Because he's looking at me as if I'm crazy. I literally went to another broker. I had a meeting with their CEO one time, and he was on the 24th floor. Yeah, and I walked.
And everybody was like, "What's wrong with this guy?"
There's something wrong with this guy. And I literally walked. I remember I also had another guy. He's not my bodyguard, by the way. And when I was like, I'm going to walk up there. And on the 12th floor, he was like, you know what? You know I love you, right? Normally when somebody tells you, you know I love you, you know they are going to walk out with you.
It's like, I'll take my chance.
Yeah,
be in the lift the whole time, like.
Yeah. So it's just the environment as well. Because I have a busy schedule, so at times I don't want to waste time on unnecessary things. If I get stuck on a lift, I know I'm going to disappoint a lot of people. Imagine if I was stuck on the 3rd floor and I have to shoot with you guys. But what would you be telling people? MJ's around the building, you could hear us.
We see, and the worst thing is even those doors, they open and close with electricity. So even if it lands on that level, a certain level, but if those doors can't open, now we're taking out knives, there's no crowbar here.
So we live in a very negative environment as a country. There's no money. It's a credit crunch. Petrol prices are increasing on daily basis. Load shedding. So as a person that is in the financial market business, you really need an A game. Try by all means to be as much positive as you can to beat the system. Because we are not fighting against candlesticks. We are fighting against the system. Sure. This is just the system. It's a system of buying and selling. That's only the 2 things we need to do, buying, selling, or staying away. But it's hard. Because have you ever met somebody who asks you, what do you do for a living? And you tell them I'm a trader? They normally say what? Oh, those things that go up and down. And those up and down things are hard.
It's not so straightforward.
Yeah, and in the beginning you normally make money. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Every starter trader, they make money.
Yeah.
And belief systems, they come into play. Maybe you are bewitched. Normally when you lose,
you feel like the market is watching you.
Exactly. So the same guy that I met with yesterday was telling me about $1 million. His voice is so loud, and normally in the gym they normally play music, but you could hear that guy alone. It's like that market. It's like they are watching me. It's like only me. They are not only watching you. I can tell you that the other 200 million people are they fall within your behavioral pattern. Sure. So it seems like they are watching you, but you are just part of the statistics. We all behave the same. All of us behave the same. If somebody now could come in here and take out the gun on us, all of us will be scared. Right, to say, what does he want? It's a natural thing. So the person who created the market, especially for retail traders, he did not have to study finance. He just had to study a human behavior. And that's why he hits us. So it's not only about those charts. If you can deal with yourself, I believe that if I deal with myself well, I can challenge the market. But if I cannot deal with myself, if you have an issue of yourself, don't get into the market. Sure. Because have you noticed that the market teaches you a lot about you? There are a lot of things you didn't know about yourself until you get into this game and say, hey, this is me. I was not aware.
As you're saying that, you're reminding me of an incident, and I think if I wasn't a trader, it wasn't going to be the case. when there were those Fees Must Fall riots. And people went to Pretoria and all of that. So because I had always been learning about trading and just brushing up on trading psychology and all of that, so there's a point in time where they decided to send out, and I don't know if I've discussed this on the podcast. They decided, okay, we're sending out the amaperete match, to go shoot the people and whatnot. Yeah. So we're all running.
Could you explain what's amaperete to?
It's like the Cops Pro Max. The last number one. If you don't know what the last number is, it's like top of the range cops. No, they sent them after us, so everybody's running. And then I see a tree, everybody's running, right? Yeah. And something to me, because like all the trading psychology and whatnot, subconsciously it hits me. It's like, go stand behind that tree. I stand behind the tree, everybody's running. Now even the cops are past me. I'm alone now. Everybody's still running there. Even the people that I was with, I see they're still running. There's some people on the side, busy catching their breath and what. And I'm there. And then when I went behind the tree, I saw the other cops still there. But nobody chased me. Nobody decided to shoot at me because like they see, okay, I'm one man there. So clearly this guy, he was not with the crowd or something's just different with this guy. And I just continued to see people running. And that time I was relaxed at the point. I even started talking to the cops as well. I'm like, hey man,
they could even give you a beret as well and say, be part of it. Be part of us.
And like you're saying that like human behavior, because they know most people are gonna do one thing. So everybody was running in one direction, and I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna run or change the direction or what, but I'm just gonna stand behind here, let everybody go past. And then once the cops that were actually chasing people had went past, that's when I was like, okay, let me come. And then nobody treated me very violently. I actually had normal conversations with all the bigger sergeants and whatnot. You know, it's being like, hey, don't you have kids and what? And you know, they were actually opening up to me, be like, hey man, we don't like this, but it's our job, you know. We told to come out here, but we also suffering from having to pay for our kids and all of that. And I'm thinking that if I continued running, I'm a chubby guy. I would have had a shot or something, you know, those rubber bullets. I would have had a shot. So I think like it goes back to what you're saying, that most people behave in a certain way. So it's very easy to feel like, hey, you're being watched by the markets, but it's like those people running, somebody would feel, yo, this cop is looking for me. That time he's just shooting, man. He's not aiming at one particular individual.
That's a powerful example that you use. Because they're just shooting these people, and they don't even know who's the culprits here. So whether you are slender, you are chubby, you are what, they are shooting. And if you are falling within that behavioral pattern of running away, and you don't even know what you are running away from, you're most probably gonna get a shot. You know. So the way in which we think I think is very important, especially as Africans. Do you know that? But let me not go there. Do you know that there's some mineral that was taken in Kalina there, Pretoria? It's worth a lot of millions in pounds. It's in UK there. Do you know if we can get that diamond? I don't want to mention where it is in UK, but it's there in UK. Right? Somebody has it. Then she recently passed away. So somebody has it again because she left it for somebody. Do you know if we can get that diamond? In South Africa, we are about 60 million. Do you know that each and every South African can get at least $1 million each? But I can tell you that if they give us $1 million each, I'm telling you, there will be people that will blow in that $1 million within a week. Done within a week. Right, because of the mentality. That's why a lot of rich kids don't die poor. Have you noticed? Sure. But a lot of poor kids, only few poor kids make it. But the rich ones, they don't die poor. They don't have to do a lot because they're in the environment that is feeding into their dreams. right? You go from a auction and tell your mom that you just wanna do tennis or something, and that's where your dream is. I'm telling you, you're going to get a hiding from your mom. Tennis, you make a living out of tennis. Tennis while we are staying here, tennis, right? Because when they invest in your education, maybe they thought that you were supposed to be a doctor and a lawyer and those type of things. Because now people don't even believe the way youngsters are making money now. Our parents don't believe into that. I don't know how to explain my mom what I do for a living. I don't know how to tell her. Because normally I say, what does your son do for a living? Okay, I don't know, but he's always on the computer. He's just there and doing something. My nephew the other time was telling his friend to say, this is my uncle I was telling you about, that he's doing the down and up things. But we just know he makes money from there. Because according to today's society, it is not normal to make money while you're sitting. You have to get up. You have to go to an office or go to work and come back. That's when you can make money. But the minute you tell them about the Huawei that you bought for 2,000 rands, and you made money out of it, it's not normal, especially in Africa, right? People want you to do things the hard way. And I know you need to work hard and work smart and all that, but you need a combination of two, the smart way and the hard way. I think that's when you're going to maybe try to get an edge over other people, because people are working hard, especially with this market thing. The advice that I can give to a person that want to make it into the financial market, be obsessed with the future of the market rather than the past of the market rather than the future. If you can spend time going back to study the behavior of the past tells you the future, and it's as simple as that. If you could see it, that it behaved like this for the past 2 years, and you could note it down, there are chances that it's going to behave like that for the next coming 2 years.
Yeah, I've seen that with USD ZAR.
Yeah.
But I think for this episode we have said a mouthful. I don't know if you have any closing statements, anything to inspire the people, or tell them, look out for this. There's a new coin coming out.
I would say look out for Bitcoin. As much as it's on the low now, I believe that we're going to see a rise in Bitcoin, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people has lost a lot of money.
Yeah. It actually, I don't know if you guys know Gary V. I don't know how to say his.
The thing is, he swears a lot. That guy. That's why I don't like watching. He swears a lot.
He swears a lot.
Candlestick. He swears a lot. That guy.
You can't say it straight, but he like NFTs. They were on such a high, and then they came crashing. Especially like when the cryptos came crashing. Sure. And he said this before it happened. He's like, he's collecting NFTs. He's gonna sell NFTs when they get to a certain level. Yeah. And then he's gonna wait for the market to plummet, and then he's gonna start buying NFTs again. And it's that happened. NFTs were on the rise. Yeah. Had a huge crash, and now this is when players are coming in again, buying NFTs, because that's just the natural cycle of the market.
Exactly. It's not a financial advice, by the way, but I'm only saying, look out for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
At the moment, we had a lot of Amaberete shooting at the crowd, and we had people like Scooby behind the tree that made money out of Bitcoin. The rest, they lost money because they were getting rubber bullets. It's time now that you start investing in Bitcoin, because no one has faith in it. And that's the cycle of the market. The minute it loses value, that's where you jump in. Yeah, look at Bitcoin. I'm telling you, we're going to see a rise in Bitcoin. That I can guarantee we're going to see a rise. If you already lost money there, I'm sorry, but you can give it a try. But this time, be careful. And don't just say, MJ said we must buy. No, I'm not saying buy it, but I'm saying don't lose hope in it. There might be an opportunity for an upside for a Bitcoin. Because I know a lot of people that lost a lot of money with Bitcoin. And look into Forex, man. We jumped into these Nasdaqs and all these type of things. But Forex is moving nowadays. There's some volatility. Look at EJ. I was showing somebody the behavior of EJ and Nasdaq. I said, look at how many points EJ would move. And look at how much points Nasdaq would move. They were like the same. Because EJ can move from Asian session until London, until New York, right? Of which Nasdaq can brag at times. Nasdaq is like that gassy chick, where sometimes she's like, and also stocks. Look into stocks as well. Short-term investing, long-term investing as well. Try to maybe get into it, and I know you guys covered some few topics about stocks and all that. Get into stocks as well. Do you know that to buy stocks for long mean mile, I don't know what they call it now, Sibanya, it's around 5,000 rands. Just buy and leave it there. And study the behavior and see how it's going to materialize. We didn't take Capitec serious. If 2012 you bought Capitec stocks, you would have made a lot of money by now. Because one is around 200,000, somewhere there. It's a lot of money. We didn't take Bitcoin serious. Bitcoin was around 89 rands. Back then, 89 rands. So it was like how many dollars?
But like four.
Somewhere there.
$5
So people waited for people to make money. That's when they come in. So life is like this. Where they make money, don't jump in. Where they lose money, that's where you jump in and do the opposite of what they did. So also, if you can get a bad signal provider, a bad signal provider is a good person to make you money. Just do the opposite of what it tells you and have good risk management. You're going to make a lot of money. Like that robot out there.
All right, Joe, MJ, thank you for coming through.
Sure.
I hope this isn't the last time we sit down on industry chats.
I thought this was now my official chair because I see the mics are there. So I thought I'm here. I get next week Friday. What is he talking about? No, but thank you guys for having me.
We could really discuss that.
Definitely. I think I don't know. Maybe we should have a poll or a voting system. If you guys want me here full time, please on the comment section or wherever send an email and say thumbs up, MJ, we want you to be part of this. I'm available. I need some work. They froze my account.
All right, guys. See you next week.
All right, peace. Ciao.